Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICTS Edtech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICTS Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hello, and good afternoon, Philippines. Good afternoon, world. Siyempre, kasi napapanood ang ating ETUlay online tutorial, hindi lang dito sa ating bansa, but even in all corners of the world. Okay, and welcome once again to our afternoon session for Contemporary Philippine Arts from the Regions. I am your tutor for this afternoon, Tutor Mary Grace. Okay, for this week, we are already in week number 5. Of the fourth quarter. And this is a continuation of our topic that we started last week. So the topic was approaches in researching for techniques and performance practices. All right, and the MELCs that we use can be found in this ADM, okay, that we have as our reference in our online tutorial class for ETUlay. This is, by the way, developed by DepEd NCR team. So thank you very much for lending us this reference. The MELCs for this lesson, okay, focuses on the researches that an artist can do about techniques and performance practices applied to contemporary art. So like what I said, this is a continuation of last week's topic. And the objectives for this topic are describe approaches in researching for techniques and practices appropriate for contemporary arts. Integrate patience, yan, mahalagang-mahalaga sa isang artist yan, throughout the process of looking for potential technique and practice in making art. And finally, we need to devise a personal action plan for art technique selection and application. So there you go. These are the objectives that we have to be able to, let's say, achieve or unlock, okay, after this, after fulfilling this lesson. Okay, so last week, we talked about the different types of approaches, okay, that an artist can do so that he or she may be able to accomplish different art tasks. Those types include brainstorming, researching about the task given, deciding on what idea to materialize, creating a plan of action, and making the task. So these 5 are the core of our lesson last week. But it did not end there, which is why our lesson for this week is also important. Okay, because after the topics that we're going to discuss for this lesson, for this afternoon, okay, if you aspire to be an artist, okay, you should really listen because these are the things that you need to do as part of the preparation, okay, in becoming an artist. Saan mang field yan, okay, ng sining. Now, before I proceed to our lesson, we are going to again play a little game, and this one is called Match or Not. All right. So, but before I give you the three items I prepared for this one, let me greet our people. Okay, our people, my people in our chat box who are with me this afternoon for our online tutorial class. So, I would like to say shout out and good afternoon to Ma'am Lulu Castaños, Ma'am Maria Salve Solares Tige, Ma'am Asi Pentecost Nerboniel. Okay, good afternoon also to Ma'am Jennifer E. Tampos, who is watching right now from NCIS Alabel 1 District, Division of Sarangani. That's really far. Also, we have our students from Quezon Science High School. Good afternoon, Paula May Saralde. Welcome again. Thank you for tuning in to our online tutorial class. And good afternoon, Franco Cortez. Likewise, I would like to say good afternoon to my school head, Dr. Carla Maridi Carandang, okay, to all my fellow teachers in Quezon Science High School, and to all the Quezayanos out there. So, are you ready to play this game? This is match or not. All right? So, let's have the first item. The instruction here is that you're just going to type in yes or no in our chat box if you think that the artist, okay, matches with the picture of his artwork or her artwork. If they do not match, then you can type in no or it's not a match in our chat box. So I'm going to give you again 5 seconds to type in your answer in our chat box. Are you ready for the first one? Okay, let's see. So we have here two examples of this is actually old, not really contemporary, but just to tickle your imagination about what arts is all about. These are two different art forms. One is a sculpture, and as you know, one is a painting. Then we have here the names of the members of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, just kidding. They are actually artists coming from, if I'm not mistaken, they are from the Renaissance period. We have Raphael and Michelangelo. So Raphael is under the statue called David, and Michelangelo is under the painting called Madonna and the Child. It's actually Madonna and the Child with a book, because the painter who painted this actually has different paintings of Madonna. So talk about using the word paint in sentence. All right. So what do you think? Is this a match or not? Okay, 5 seconds starts now. Okay, good afternoon also to Angel Faith Ilagan, Kylie Vecinal, Razel Resho, Zeline Bustamante, Matt, Aryan Panergo, Zeus Anton Aguilar, and Emmanuel Andre Veluz. They are also students of Quezon Science High School. And what is your answer? Do you think this is a match or is it not? Okay, we have an answer from Carl Henry Damaso, and he said that it's a match. Let's see if you are correct. So this is actually a match. It's a match, all right? So Raphael is the sculptor behind the statue of David, okay? And Michelangelo is the painter behind the different Madonnas, just like the one in our slide. There you go. So it's a match. So we have the correct answer. The correct partnership here when it comes to artist to art matchmaking. All right. So are you ready for the second part? So Sir Henry, you are correct for the first item. Second item. We have here yet another pair of two different art forms. We have a painting on the left side, and on the right side, we have here a sculpture. Okay? So, the artists we have Guillermo Tolentino under the painting and Juan Luna under the sculpture. Now, class, students, teachers, viewers out there, is this a match or not? Your 5 seconds starts right now. You can type in your answer in our chat box. So, do you think Guillermo painted this and Juan Luna did the sculpture? Okay, you can start typing your answer right now. Okay, so once again, good afternoon to all the Quezon Science High School students who are with me in our online tutorial class. Let's have the answer for item number 2. Okay, so Ma'am Maria Salves Solares Tige says that it's a match. Let's see. And I'm sorry, ma'am, but it's not a match. There you go. Yes, because the painting on the left side um, is actually entitled Maidens, Roman Maidens, and this is a version, or this was a version done by the painter Juan Luna. While on the left side, I'm sorry, on the right side, you have there the oblation statue, no, the very icon, okay, that once we see it, we know that we're talking about UP. Okay, anywhere in the world, it's very famous. So, and this one is actually done by none other than national artist Guillermo Tolentino. Okay, there you go. So it's not a match. Juan Luna is a painter. That's one of his paintings, the one on the left side, and Guillermo Tolentino was a sculptor who did the oblation statue in UP. There you go. Fun fact. Do you have an idea about who the model is behind that statue? Behind the oblation statue. Who do you think is the model of that statue? Do you have an idea? You can type in your guesses in our chat box. Before I read your answers, let me say good afternoon to Ma'am Mastela Bayhon. Thank you for being with me in our afternoon CPAR tutorial class. And again, to Ma'am Maria Salve Solares Tige. Okay, so again, going back, do you have an idea? Sino kaya ang modelo ni Guillermo Tolentino para sa kanyang sining na tinatawag na oblation? Okay, meron ba kayong nalalaman kung sino kaya yon? Meron ba kayong baka may narinig kayong chismis? Okay, sabi nila nung ako ay high school pa, ang model daw ng oblation, okay, ay okay, ito ay chismis lang. Ang model daw ng oblation ay si Fernando Poe Sr. Okay, yung tatay ni Fernando Poe Jr., ni The King, di ba? Totoo kaya yon? Okay, totoo kaya yon? Alamin natin yan next week. Okay, char lang. Okay, actually, ang model ng oblation ay hindi naman nalalayo kay Guillermo Tolentino. Ito ay kakilala din niya. Okay, pero ito ay hindi si Fernando Poe Jr., right? Sino kaya yon? O, bigyan ko pa kayo ng another 5 seconds to guess kung sino ang model ng oblation ni Guillermo Tolentino. Another 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, Janjaran. Meron na kaya? May sagot kaya? Walang nag-guess sa ating mga viewers. Siguro kailangan pa nating galing-galingan ang ating pag-google. Okay, bilis-bilisan pa ang ating pag-google. Si Anastasio Caedo, okay, siya yung model ng UP oblation na sculpture. Okay? Ito ay sinagawa ni Guillermo Tolentino. So there you go. So that's item number 2 for our match or not activity. Let's proceed to the last item. Okay? Alright. What do we have here? Sige nga, kung natatandaan nyo sa ating mga previous lessons, anong tawag natin sa mga ganitong kalalaking struktura ng sining? Okay? We call them what? We call them art installation. Now, do you think these art installations I have here for you are a match to their artists? We have Leroy New under Conrad Manila's giant art installation in their lobby. Then we have Mirror Bombs. Okay? And under that, we have the name of the artist, Kawayan Digia. So the mirror bombs, yung ginamit nung World War II, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so is this a match? Okay, ito bang mga taong ito ang artists behind every art piece or every art installation na nakikita natin dyan? Okay, we have an answer coming from Sir Jeff Mijares. Good afternoon and thank you for watching. And he said that it is not a match. We will see later. Also, Carl Henry Damaso said that it's a match. Okay, so they have differing answers. And oh, thank you Ma'am Gladys for the reminder. Please watch and comment ano ang natutunan nyo. Sabi niya dito sa ating comment box. Thank you very much for that. Okay, and good afternoon also, Ma'am Gladys. So, is this a match or not? Let's see who's correct, Sir Jeff or Sir Carl. And the answer is, it's a match. Okay? Leroy New and Kawayan Diggy are both installation artists in the contemporary period. They are both Filipinos, okay? And itong nandito sa left side, yan ay makikita sa Conrad, Manila, depicting corals na very abundant in our country. And doon naman sa right side, makikita natin yung mirror bombs, no? Na ginamit na parang ang tawag dyan, disco, hindi naman disco ball, para hanging lamps sa isang building as an art installation also. Done by art installation artist Kawayan Digya. So there you go. So Leroy New and Kawayan Digya are two of the most famous artists that we have in our contemporary time. So I hope you have all three correct answers for our activity called Match or Not. Okay, you can type in your scores in our chat box and let's see if all of you got a perfect score. Okay, so now let's proceed to our lesson. So for this time, we are going to talk about the approaches in researching for techniques and performance practices, and we have 6. So they are cooperative learning approach, focused exploration, discussion, free exploration, experimentation, and media analysis. Pero ano ba itong mga to? Okay? Bakit kung ikaw ay isang aspiring artist, bakit kailangan mo malaman itong mga bagay na to? Okay? Ito ay mahalaga kasi ito yung magpo-provide sa'yo ng parang crash course, okay, when you dive into arts. Okay, especially kung kumbaga sa writer, kung nagkakaroon ka ng writer's block, I don't know if there's such a thing as artist block, na alam mong ang dami mong gustong gawin o ang dami mong gustong simulan, pero wala kang nagagawa after 24, 48 hours or more than that, di ba? So these approaches will help you, okay, decide what road to follow when it comes to art, decide what materials to use, what technique or practices. Diba? This will help you. So what are these approaches? Let's take them on one by one. So the first one is cooperative learning approach. For this one, you have to remember that 2 heads are better than 1. So tandaan natin yung kasabihan na yon. It's very cliche but it's very much applicable to this technique, cooperative learning approach. Bakit? Because this technique can increase not only an artist's skill, but also his or her collaborative function with others. So the keyword here is collaboration. So if you're an artist and you suddenly stumble upon a wall na wala ka nang magawa, wala ka nang maisip, okay, one way to turn around that situation is to collaborate. He can collaborate with another artist na mayaman naman sa ideas. Okay? You can, the two of you can start. It can be not just 2, but a group of artists. So collaboration is very important. Sa lahat actually na aspect, applicable yung 2 heads are better than 1. It's amazing that's also useful in the field of the arts. So this is cooperative learning approach. So what happens when 2 or more artists collaborate with one another? So, isipin na lang natin sa music. Pag may mga collabs na nagaganap, 'di ba? For example, we have the rapper, forgot his name, the rapper Black 9, okay, who has done several collaborations with different Filipina singers, no? And the outcome, they are huge hits, okay, in our music industry. So, ganun yung katinding epekto ng collaboration. Diba? So, not just in science, for example, not just in other fields of life, but more importantly, in the field of the art. So, kung noong unang panahon, let's say during the classical period or Renaissance period, 1:1 lang talaga, isang artist, isang field, okay? This time around in the contemporary times, okay, this is a very humbling experience for every artist to be able to collaborate. Actually, they would say that they are proud, okay, that they can collaborate with other artists as well. So in this way, yung skills nila, mas nahahasa pa, no? Mas, yung techniques nila, mas na-explore nila. Yung materials na alam nila, mas dumadami. Kasi they are collaborating with another artist, hindi lang para makapag-produce ng collaborative output or masterpiece, but also para improve ang isa't isa. That's the value of collaboration. And that is cooperative learning approach. There you go. So let's proceed to number 2. The second approach would be focus exploration. Okay? And you have to remember the quote, challenge accepted. Bakit? Okay, kasi focus exploration means that, okay, kung kanina nagkaroon ka ng artist block, dito naman nagkaroon ka ng limitasyon. Let's say you're an artist but or you're an aspiring artist but in your area ang available lang na material is bamboo. So, yun lang yung maraming material. Okay, the other materials hindi available sa iyo as of the moment, for example. So, paano mo masisimulan yung artwork na gusto mong i-produce kung yun lang yung material sa paligid mo, kung bamboo lang? So, challenge accepted. Mag-isip ka ng artwork na maglalaro sa material ng bamboo. Nagagamit ng material ng bamboo at marami yan. Kung sa ating previous lessons, diba, na-explore natin kung ano-ano, saan larangan ba na sining nagagamit ang bamboo. So this focus exploration approach increases the imaginative skill as well as the resourcefulness of the artist. So the keyword to remember is imagination. Sabi nga nila, di ba, imagination lang ang limit. So sa focus exploration, bakit focus? Kasi ang gagamitin mo lang is, for example, kung ano yung available na material na nandun sa paligid mo. Doon ka lang nakafocus. O kaya, halimbawa, kung nakikita nyo sa social media yung mga artist na wala silang arms, yung ginagamit na nila legs, paa, o kaya bibig sa paggagawa ng kanilang artworks, nagsagawa yung mga yon malamang. Okay? Focus exploration. Bakit? Kasi yung techniques nila, limited sila kumpara doon sa isang, let's say, normal artist na kompleto yung kanyang body parts, di ba? So they did focus exploration. Okay, after probably months and years of practice, hindi nila ginawang limit ang kanilang imagination. They went out of it and beyond it. Okay, so that is challenge accepted. And that is focus exploration. Okay, so this is a good approach kung ikaw ay limited by the sources of materials available, okay, by the techniques that you have. Okay, o kaya yung nga, sinabi ko kanina sa example, yung body parts, no? So, you need to use this approach para hindi ka ida-down ng limitasyon sa paligid mo. Kasi yun ay, those are external factors. You just have to accept them. You can't do anything about it kung yun lang talaga ang available. Yun lang. Okay? So, that's it. And now, let's proceed to the third one. And the third one is discussion. So, in this approach, you have to remember talk and talk more. What does it mean? So it means na hindi porket artist ka dapat tameme ka or hindi ka marunong makipag-usap sa mga tao. Okay, wala kang sabihin na natin social skills or social life. No, wag nating tanggalin natin yung ganung stigma na pag artist naka-isolate siya, 'di ba? So that is not a good thing, 'di ba? So discussion is an approach wherein the artist becomes very much, let's say, for lack of a better term, let's say, very much open, okay, to communicate with other people, hindi lang sa fellow artists, but also with other artists, with other people as well, okay? I may be having some, please bear with me if I am having some technical issues with my internet because our power just got back on. Okay, there you go. So number 3, in this part, okay, you have to remember that no one learns in isolation. So if you're an artist, you better communicate with people in order for you to grow more as an artist. So the key term here is to communicate. So it's very important that you communicate. Hindi lang talk. Okay? Hindi lang body language, hindi lang eye contact, but communicate in all possible ways. So it's very important for an artist na kaya niya makipag-communicate not just through his artwork kasi given na yun eh. Kumbaga, DNA na ng artist yun, makipag-communicate siya through his artwork. But, outside that, Okay? Kailangan din marunong ang isang artist na mag-discuss sa mga bagay-bagay with people. Okay? It is not just for his professional growth but also for his personal growth. So, communicate. Now, before I proceed to the fourth and the other approaches, let me just say good afternoon to our viewers out there. Good afternoon, Sir Lee Min Hee, watching from SMR. And good afternoon, Ma'am Fe Puente. Hello din po and thank you for being with us in SIPAR this afternoon. Okay, moving on to the fourth approach, we have, okay, forgive my runny nose. We have free exploration. So earlier we talked about focused exploration. This time what we have is free exploration. Okay, so you have to remember the quote, your imagination is the only limit. So it's focused exploration and free exploration are somehow linked together. Okay, so but free exploration taps more on the artist's continuous curiosity sa mga bagay-bagay. So it says here that if you allow your curiosity to flow naturally, yung sabihin na natin, hindi nawawala yung pagiging interesado mo sa mga, mula sa mga simpleng bagay hanggang sa mga pinakang komplikadong bagay, okay, your creative juices will start flowing out. Okay, and your ideas will start drowning you. Na ang magiging problem mo na next is how to choose, di ba? So free exploration is a useful approach, okay, when it comes to exploring the things that are abundant around you. If you're naturally curious sa mga bagay-bagay, hindi ka lang pwedeng maging scientist kasi yan ay characteristic din ng isang scientist. Pwede ka ring maging artist. So pag nangyari yon, if your curiosity flows naturally, everything will follow and you will expect to discover more than what you aim for. Okay? Kung kanina, focus exploration, challenge accepted kasi limited yung nasa surroundings mo. Ngayon naman, dahil sobrang madami yung nasa surroundings mo, marami ka nang napag-aralan techniques, etc., etc., eh dapat yung curiosity mo, hindi lunurin ng kadamihan ng mga bagay na yon. Dapat manatili siyang naturally flowing. Dapat, pag nakakita ka ng isang simpleng bato, okay, magiging curious ka doon. Okay, ano kayang pwedeng art ang gawin ko sa isang simpleng bato, di ba? So, that is free exploration, no? With this, hindi ka nababox doon sa idea ng kung ano lang yung gusto mo. Okay? Hindi ka nababox doon. You go out of that. You break down the walls that will limit your interest, that will limit your skills as an artist. And that happens in the approach called free exploration. Okay, that is the fourth approach. Moving on to the fifth one, we have experimentation. Now this time, you have to remember to think out of the box. Yan, cliche fact na rin yan, pero if you're an artist, or actually kahit isang simpleng tao ka lang, no? If you think out of the box, then you can do the extraordinary. Hindi ka dapat limited, for example, to using the same technique or practice na ginagamit mo before. Okay, halimbawa, kung ikaw ay painter, okay, hindi ka dapat limited sa idea na ang pwede ko lang gamitin pag paint ay paintbrush, tsaka yung aking canvas. Hindi dapat ganon. So, di ba nakikita naman natin ngayon sa Facebook or sa Instagram, sa social media in general, yung iba't ibang demonstration, okay, ng pagpe-paint na ang ginagamit iba't ibang tools, hindi lang paintbrush. May gumagamit ng cotton buds, may gumagamit ng spray paint, may gumagamit ng basic hands lang. No? So you have to think out of the box. You need to experiment. Okay, hindi pwedeng, porket ito yung kinalakihan mong gawin or gamitin as a technique, as an art technique, ito na lang to hanggang mag-senior citizen ako, di ba? Hindi pwedeng ganon. Okay, you have to think out of the box. In that way, nag-a-adapt ka din, okay, sa kung anong pagbabago nangyayari sa iyong surrounding. And the key term here is you have to be limitless, boundless, timeless. Ganun dapat yung pag-isip mo. It comes to approaching art, no? Especially kung talagang aim mong maging isang artist sa kung saan mang larangan yan, whether it's painting, sa sculpture, architecture, etc. No? So experimentation also deals with the science in art, di ba? Kasi when you explore materials, for example, dapat alam mo yung properties ng materials, ng water, ng color pigments, okay? Ano nagiging effect kapag nilagyan mo ng ganitong chemical, di ba? Sa mga art installations, ganun din in our contemporary time. So in a way, experimentation is like combining case science and art. Okay, with that, using those two knowledge that you have, you can think out of the box and your ideas will be limitless and your art piece, the output, okay, will be what? Timeless, no? Kagaya ng mga na-produce ni Juan Luna, The Spoliarium, ni Leonardo da Vinci, Mona Lisa, timeless, no? Because probably during their time, they experimented. Nag-experiment si Leonardo na walang kilay, si Mona Lisa. Okay, joke lang. All right, before I proceed to the last approach, let me say good afternoon to Ma'am Daisy Sadiwa and Clona, watching from Katarman 4 Kawayan Internet School Elementary Department. Okay, good afternoon and thank you for being with me this afternoon, Ma'am Daisy. All right, moving on to the last approach. In researching for techniques and performance practices, we have media analysis. So for this one, you have to remember that technology is also an art. So kanina sa number 5, experimentation, science, and art yung kinocombine natin. Dagdagan pa natin ng isang factor which is technology. So to come up with your filtered stand and eventually construct or enhance your own style of expressing ideas in multiple medium, it is highly important as an artist in the contemporary time that you become, the keyword here is tech savvy. No? Paano mo ba magagamit yung technology ngayong panahon natin sa pagpo-produce ng artworks? So syempre, kung hindi ka tech savvy, tapos gusto mo mag-produce ng light art, okay, digital light art for example, paano mo gagawin yon? So you have to be tech savvy. Dapat alam mo kung anong gadget ang pwedeng gamitin, anong equipment. Okay, dapat alam mo yung properties ng equipment na yon na suswak dun sa kind of art na gusto mong i-produce. So that is tech savvy. Hindi lang ito nakakagamit ka ng Microsoft Word or PowerPoint or Excel, for example. So dapat alam mo yung direction mo when it comes to technology. Kasi ito yung gusto mong gamiting platform ng iyong artwork. Okay? So media analysis, no? So we use the term heavy gut na word na analysis kasi pag analysis hindi lang yan basta naisip mo, yan ay pinag-iisipan ng malalim, no? I happened to watch this video before nung medyo nauuso-uso pa lang yung iPad, no? I'm not promoting anything, no? Basta yun lang yung nakita ko sa video, yung iPad na ang ginawa nung isang band, music band, ay nag-perform sila without the actual musical instruments and just using different iPad application for piano, for guitar, etc. And they were able to produce a song performance. Okay? And that is what? That is a product of art using technology. Siyempre, di ba, para mag-swak lahat ng ginawa nila, maging actual song performance siya without using the actual musical equipment or instruments, no? Inaral talaga nilang mabuti kung paano nila gagawin yon. So these performers, they are tech savvy. So it's important that as an artist in the contemporary time, na ikaw ay tech savvy. Okay? Na pwede kang gumamit, pwede mo namang, halimbawa yung mga students natin out there, pwede nyo namang simulan sa mga simpleng photo manipulation apps na nasa cellphone. Okay? Yung pag-explore para magkaroon kayo ng pagsasagawa ng approach na media analysis. So hindi lang sa photo, syempre pwede din sa ibang artwork. So merong merong application dati na it allows you to paint different mandala images, no, sa inyong cellphone, di ba? So that can be done as part of media analysis. Kung ikaw ay aspiring mandala artist, for example, or color artist. Okay, so it's important na dahil contemporary times ngayon, it's technology's time to take over almost, 'di ba? Wag lang sana maging katulad ng sa Terminator, no? Pero it's technology's time, so dapat maka-adapt ka. Okay? If you are an artist in the contemporary time, dapat maka-adapt ka. So you have to become tech savvy. So there you go. So those are the 6 approaches in researching for techniques and performance practices. So let's review them. We have cooperative learning approach. We have focused exploration, discussion, free exploration, experimentation, and media analysis. Moving on, our next topic is a discussion of the advantages of researching new techniques and practices. Gusto ko na namang maging artist, but ang dami ko pang approach na kailangan pag-aralan. Ba't kailangan ko pa magsagawa ng research? Sana nag-researcher na lang ako, di ba? No? So, as an artist, di ba, lalo na kung hindi naman, sabihin na natin, hindi pinalad na embedded sa DNA mo ang sining, kailangan mo talagang magsagawa ng iba't ibang researches. Like, sa materials, sa techniques na pwede mong gamitin, practices, sometimes even yung amount ng mga tools and equipment and materials na kailangan mong gamitin sa yung tatahaking larangan ng sining. Kailangan mo rin yung i-research. Lahat yon will contribute to your success as an artist. So ano ba yung advantages kung magkasagawa ka ng research? So number 1, it can push artists to aim for better versions of their works and grab the opportunity to expand artistic horizons. Actually, if we discuss it up to the last advantage, ito na yung core. Okay? Para hindi ka magiging stagnant as an artist if you continuously do researches, okay, in the field of the arts. Hindi ka magiging stagnant. Alam naman natin nagiging pag stagnant ang isang bagay, no? Walang movement, walang kahit na ano. It's boring. So, hindi maganda pag boring ang buhay ng isang artist. So, dapat mag-research ka. So, you can push forward and not pull yourself backwards. Alright? So, number 2, it is a helpful way to immerse oneself in the culture of others and thereby allowing own creativity to design culture-based means of artistic expression. So, we have here the word culture mentioned several times. 1, 2, actually. It's important na hindi porket artist ka, i-disregard mo na kung ano ba yung culture na nag-i-exist ngayon sa mundo, na nag-i-exist ngayon sa society natin. So dapat kung gusto mo maging expressive in your pieces of art, so dapat na-immerse mo yung sarili mo sa mga culture, hindi lang yung pang sayo. Ay, artist ako dito sa let's say dito sa Quezon. Yung culture lang ng Quezon ang lagi kong ipapakita. Ito lang dapat ang alam ko. Technique lang tungkol dito ang dapat ginagawa ko. No. You have to immerse yourself in other cultures as well. Okay, that's one way that will lead you to becoming a successful artist. Okay, number 3. It gives an artist the chance to look for another window that lets him or her see what's inside other artists' mind. Okay, naiisip nyo ba yung naisip ko na word na pinag-aralan natin kanina? Okay, you have the word collaboration, no? Collaboration. So, kapag makikipag-collaborate ang isang artist sa kapwa niyang artist, okay, nagkakaroon siya ng opportunity na matutuuli, okay, sa pananaw, sa perspective ng ibang tao na nandun sa larangan kung saan nandun din siya. So, there's a window of opportunity to learn once again. Di ba sabi natin dapat pag artist palaging curious. So, bahagi nun yung palagi kang willing na matuto. Okay? And number 4, an artist can express his or her own choice combined with other ideas generated from researches. So ito na yung, sabihin na natin medyo boring na part, pero ito yung pwede na magbasa yung artist, okay, ng iba't ibang researches o kaya manood ng mga artworks sa isang museum o kung saan man pwede, okay, para anong mangyayari? Para makapag-generate siya ng mga sarili niyang ideas out of these ideas. It's a matter of perspective, it's a matter of angle. No? Hindi naman ko kopyahin, pero mag-generate ka ng bago mong ideas out of the old ones. Kagaya nung pinakita ko dati, yung My Jesus Christ, no? It's a classic painting pero nilagyan ng contemporary approach. Nilagyan ng words na applying to the Gen Zs, di ba? So, and it became a famous art piece. So, bakit? Paano nangyari yun? Kasi yung artist, nag-research lang siya. Ano ba yung existing na? Okay, how can I modify this to make it more interesting and to make it mine? Okay, so that way, makakapag-express yung artist ng kanyang sariling ideas. So, modification is also a way, pero in the long run, magkakaroon na yung artist ng sarili niyang style, ng sarili niyang personality as an artist. Okay, number 5, Best practices of artists are shared to both professional and aspiring ones. So, advantage ng nagre-research ka is nakikita mo na natututunan mo na as an artist, hindi ka pala dapat maging madamot sa knowledge, sa skills. So, dapat kung ano yung meron ka, you share it with the world. Diba? Alangan naman magawa ka ng artwork na ikaw lang yung makakakita. O sige, try nyo. Gawa ko ng napakagandang mural sa kwarto ko, all walls, no? Yung iba't ibang seasons. Okay? Using different materials. Okay, nasa nito? Ayoko nga pakita sa inyo. O sige, maganda ba yon? Di ba? Hindi. So, dapat nasi-share natin yun sa buong mundo. At ito, pag nakita na yung ginawa natin ng ibang tao, ng ibang artist as well, okay, magiging bahagi ito ng kanilang researches. At ito'y makakatulong sa kanila. At ganun din yung gagawin mo kung ikaw ay aspiring artist. So, nagkakaroon ng sharing of ideas. Okay? Sometimes subconsciously, kasi nga, yung artwork mo ipapakita sa mga exhibits, sa mga museums, di ba? So, the best practices are being shared. Number 6, it is a powerful thought-provoking strategy because the mind is exposed to new and extensive information. Ayan, yung brains natin, the thing between our ears, should not be isolated from society. It should not be isolated from knowledge, from new information. So, dapat palagi nating finifeed si brain ng iba't ibang kaalaman, iba't ibang techniques, iba't ibang practices, iba't ibang artworks, okay, na pwede natin ipakita sa kanya. Anong mangyayari pag nagawa natin yon? Yung hindi mawawala yung interest natin sa arts, kung tayo aspiring artist, hindi mawawala yung curiosity natin sa mga bagay-bagay. At ang sabi dyan the term used here is powerful thought-provoking strategy, ang pagsasagawa ng research. Okay, kasi syempre marami kang nakikita, so marami kang naiisip. So napi-feed mo continuously yung brain, and that is mentally healthy. Okay? Before I proceed to the other advantages, let me say good afternoon to Ma'am Timotea Humawan Nias, who is watching right now from San Antonio National High School, Ozamis City Division. Okay, thank you, ma'am, for watching. Let's move on to the 7th advantage, which is it can be a kickstart for an artist's inspiration and ignite a spark to get the passion even more alive. So, let's say, hindi ka pa decided na maging artist. Okay, o kaya, starting artist ka pala. Okay, hindi ka sure kung gusto mong ituloy ito, baka walang kita, baka maging stagnant ang utak ko, etc., etc. So when you do research for new techniques and practices, yun na yung mag-ignite sa iyo ng passion mo, okay, to get into arts, to communicate what you're thinking, what you're feeling through your artworks, through your masterpieces, okay? Then we have number 8. It enables the artist to plan for a multifaceted, captivating, and detailed final output. Okay, when you say final output, syempre, ito na yung artwork. Or whether it's a sculpture, it's a painting, it's a building, kung architect ka, or it's a simple stone balancing monument somewhere near Laguna Lake, for example, di ba? Ganon, mula sa pinakang simple hanggang sa pinaka-komplikadong artwork, as long as self-output mo yan, self-effort mo yan, okay, it will enable you to become a successful artist. Okay? Bago mo nagawa yon, marami kang ginawang pagpaplano, marami kang sinagawang research, and that should be self-fulfilling. Okay? At yung output mo, okay, it's very important that you look at it as a product of your hard work. Okay? And then we have number 9. It exposes one to new discoveries and perspectives. So, nabanggit natin to kanina, pag nagsagawa ka ng research, malalaman mo na, okay, hindi lang pala ito yung material na pwedeng gamitin sa pagpe-painting. Hindi lang pala ito yung tools na pwedeng gamitin sa pag-sculpture. Okay? Because of research, nalalaman mo kung ano pa yung ibang pwedeng gamitin. Okay? Number 10, it encourages the artist to spot unusual angles and try modern art techniques. Para tong photography. Diba? Sa photography, let's say isang building, what's the basic or the most common way to capture a building's facade? O diba? Tatayo ka sa unahan, pipicturean mo yung harapan niya, yung kanyang length, yung the mighty high building, no? Ganun pagpipicture sa kanya. But that's not the only angle that you can take a picture for a certain building. Marami pang paraan. Okay, as a photographer, you have to spot these unusual angles. So doon ko ito marerelate kasi I'm into photojournalism as well and photography in general, di ba? So you need to spot unusual angles. Pero when you say spot unusual angles, hindi ibig sabihin no, titingin ka lang talaga. You really have to move around. Okay? As a photographer, no, hanap ka, pwede nakahiga ka, pwedeng nakataob ka, pwedeng fish eye, hand's eye, bird's eye view, okay, lahat ng mga unusual angles and then saka mo tingnan yung mga na-produce mo. Okay, that way, okay, pwede mo rin i-apply yun sa larangan ng singing. Sa kahit na anong larangan ng singing actually. O drawing mo i-paint mo ulit si Mona Lisa pero side view. Or i-paint mo si Mona Lisa pero from an ant's eye view, di ba? So those are unusual angles. That way, you're already doing modern art techniques. Okay? Number 11, it teaches new style and additional comfort of one's artistic specialization. So, pag nag-research ka na, kung hindi ka pa decided kung anong field sa arts ang kukunin mo, pag nasigawa ka na research, habang tumatagal yun, makakapag-decide ka na saan kang larangan ng sining komportable, kung ano yung gusto mong tahakin. Okay? And number 12, it adds pro art techniques with a mix of traditional and contemporary insights to an artist's vocabulary. Yan. So, yung vocabulary ng isang alagad ng sining, okay, nakadepende usually yan, yung lawak niya nakadepende sa kung ano bang uri ng sining ang kanyang pinapractice or tinatahak. No? At kung patuloy ka nagre-research para makahanap ng new practices, new techniques, yung vocabulary yun lumalawak. At hindi lang yun. Mamaya, mamamalayan mo na lang, lumalawak na rin yung circle of friends mo as an artist kasi nagsagawa ka ng sandamakmak na pag-research. No? Pero syempre, bilang artist, yung pagre-research, bahagi pa lang din yan ng preparation. Okay? Pag tapos ka na mag-prepare at magplano, pwede ka na magsimula sa pagpuproduce ng iyong artwork, ng iyong masterpiece. Alright, so there you go. Those 12 are the advantages of researching new techniques and practices, whether ikaw ay isa ng artist or aspiring to be one. Okay, before I proceed to our takeaways, let me say good afternoon to Santiago, Ma'am Santiago or Sir Santiago Benabese Abalye, who is watching from Kidapawan City Division. Good afternoon, sir. And good afternoon to Ma'am Maria Elena Pereira, who is watching right now from Sirs Catanawan District. I don't know if that's the Catanawan I know here in Quezon, but thank you for being with me in our SIPAR session this afternoon. Okay, let's move on to the takeaways for this lesson. So today we learned about the approaches in researching for techniques and performance practices and the advantages when we do this kind of research as artists or aspiring artists. So this ends this topic. Okay, so like what I said earlier, this is just a continuation of our topic from week number 4. But this ends right here, right now. So we are done. So probably next week, ready na tayo, no? Because we are going to different regions to explore what techniques, okay, what art techniques, what art forms and art performances do they have in those regions. Kasi after all, our subject is contemporary Philippine arts from the regions. Okay? So there you go. Let's now proceed to our quiz time. This time I have prepared the true or false quiz for you guys. So you can just type in T or F para mas mabilis sa ating chat box. And I will confirm if you have the correct answer. Okay, I actually prepared 1 to 5 sentences or 5 statements based on the discussions that we did, okay, in our online tutorial class. So are you ready? So for every statement, I'm going to give you 1 second, joke lang, 5 seconds to type in your answers in our chat box. Are you ready? Guys out there, before I proceed, good afternoon to Ma'am Ka Gillian Sorilla. Angelica Surilia, who is watching from New Canaan Integrated School, Alabel 1 District, Division of Sarangani. First sentence, we have think out of the box means you need to experiment with ideas and materials. Is this true or false? 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Before I proceed to 1, let's say good afternoon to Ma'am Maria Elena Pereira. Yan, from Katanawan, Quezon. She just confirmed it. Thank you, ma'am. Bada said it's true. Paula said it's true. And Marcy Rai, good afternoon, Marcy, is true. Let's see, this sentence is true, di ba? So you need to think out of the box. Hindi lang para sa mga artists yan, pero for all people out there, okay, who'd like to become creative in their own right, in their own way. You need to think out of the box. Okay, moving on to the second sentence. As an artist, you really don't have to communicate to other people. They will understand. Okay, is this true or false? 5 seconds. Type in your answers. 4, 3, 2, and we have answers like true from Razel Resho, from JM, true. From Maria Elena Pereira, ma'am, said it's true. Paula, false. Bada, false. Marcy Rai, false. And the answer is false. Diba sabi natin kanina, as an approach, you should be able to communicate with other people. Hindi lang with fellow artists, but with other people as well. Kasi paano ka makikipag-collaborate kung hindi ka rin makikipag-communicate, diba? So it's very important that you have to communicate to other people as an artist. Okay? Moving on to the third sentence. We have this sentence. To adapt to changing times, an artist must also be tech savvy. All right. What do you think is the answer to this? Is this true or false? Type your answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have answers like false from Ma'am Marisa Bado. Jana May says it's false. Angel Faith, false. Andre Velu says it's false. Sir Carl Henry, true. And the answer is true, di ba? If you're an artist and, especially in the contemporary time, dapat tech-savvy ka, sabi natin kanina, para yung media analysis approach ay maisagawa mo when you're doing your research. Di ba? Mas makakapag-explore ka ng iba't ibang forms, techniques, tool, equipment when it comes to practicing art. So this sentence or this statement is true. Moving on to the fourth one. We have this. Imagination can be an artist's limit in creating his or her masterpieces. Is this true or false? In 5. Type in your answer in our chat box. 4, 3, 2. Before I say 1, Ma'am Marisa Bado says it's true. Sir Carl, true. Bada, false. Paula May, Sir or Ma'am Bada. Paula May says it's true. The other says it's false. We have 2 more true answers. And the answer for this statement is true. Diba? So, yung imagination, okay, yan yung mananatiling limit. Okay, kasi yan naman ay hindi na-fulfill completely. Diba? Limitless na nga yan eh. So, yun yung pwede ding maging limiter, okay, nang pwedeng magawa ng isang artist. Okay, so bakit? Anong ibig ko sabihin dyan? Kapag yung imagination mo ay hindi lumalawak, hindi mo na-explore, whether focus or free exploration ginagawa mo, it can hinder you from producing your masterpieces. Kapag naman sobrang lawak na hindi ka makadecide kasi ang lawak ng imagination mo, puro ka imagine, just the same way, you're not going to produce a masterpiece. So imagination can be an artist's limit. Okay? That is true. And now, let's proceed to the last statement for our quiz time. 2 heads are better than 1, even in the world of arts. Is this true or false? You can type in your answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, Okay? We have answers like true from Paula May Saralde and from Sir Carl. They said it's true and the answer is yes, it's true. Okay? So sabi ko kanina, ilang beses ko yata nabanggit ito, even sa isang artist, kailangan meron ka rin nakakausap, nakaka-collaborate, nakaka-communicate, okay? Para mas mag-improve ka personally and professionally. Two heads are better than one. In all fields of life. Kahit nga ngayong pandemic, di ba? Two heads are better than one. Okay? Especially na ngayong panahon na to na hindi na natin nakakasama palagi yung mga kaibigan natin, halimbawa na palagi natin kausap, mahalaga na nandun sila para sa isa't isa. So one head, two heads, two heads are always better. Okay. So it's very important sa isang artist na maunawaan niya. This is, sabi ko kanina, this will become a humbling experience para sa isang artist. Tanggalin na natin yung stigma na pag artist ka, i-isolate mo yung sarili mo kasi alagad ako ng sining. O hindi dapat gano'n. You should be able to communicate with other people, to collaborate. Okay? But then, pag established artist ka na, I guess it's already licensed, no? To isolate yourself. Kapag nandun ka sa preparation time, may mga artist na ganun. Para bang method actor. Kung ano yung balak nilang gawin as output, yung entire process, i-actualize nila sa kanilang buhay. Okay? But that's besides the point. Okay? So, there you go. Those are our true or false statements for our quiz time. So, I hope you have 5 correct answers for this quiz. You can type in your scores in our chat box para lang makita natin kung sino ba yung talagang mga nakinig, no, sa ating discussion this afternoon. Okay? So, hawal ko lang, Jana May Manyas got the correct answer for number 5. She said it's true. And that ends our lesson, but not our time because it's quote and quote time. Okay, who do you see in the picture? Kilala nyo kaya yan? Sige nga. His name starts with letter H. And his first name starts with letter H. His surname begins with letter M. Nako, parang nalimutan ko bigla ang alphabet ko, no? Ayan. So, sino kaya ito? Okay, we have here a person, actually, one of the colorists na katay ni Picasso, if I'm not mistaken, no? One of the famous colorists nag-explore ng different use of vivid colors in his paintings, in his works. This is Henry Mattis. Okay? So, I have scores here before I proceed to Henry's quote. Paula got 5, Marcy got 5, Andre got 5, Ma'am Maria Elena got 4, Razel 5. Okay, Bada says it's Henry Mattis, and that is correct. So, Henry said, creativity takes courage. Diba? So, and that is true, no? Sometimes, what we tend to do is kung ano yung easy way to do something. The basic, the common. Kung ano yung ginagawa ng iba, yun na rin yung gagawin ko. Hindi na ako magpapaiba-iba pa. Okay? Baka sabihin nila, maarte ako. O kaya baka sabihin ng parents ko, masyadong magastos yung gusto kong idea. Creativity takes courage. Okay? It only takes one step. When you want to be creative, it only takes one step, a decision that you want to be creative, and then stand by it. Okay? It takes courage. It's like talking to that one person na ayaw makausap dahil nahihiya ka o crush mo siya, di ba? The first step to do that is to simply approach the person and talk. Ganun lang din si creativity. It takes courage. So, mahirap sa umpisa, but once you get the hang of it, okay, you'll be able to discover na, okay, maganda palang may creativity ako. Hindi lang sa larangan ng pagpipinta, pero sa lahat ng bagay. When you look at the world in colorful vision, okay, everything will fall into its places. Okay, andun yung passion usually ng mga artists, no? Looking at the world in a different perspective, in a different angle. So there you go. That's Henry Mattis for you, who said, quote, creativity takes courage, and quote. Okay? And I am your teacher for this afternoon, Teacher Mary Grace, giving you all the knowledge that you need to know regarding contemporary Philippine arts from the region. That ends our subject for this afternoon. Thank you for being with me this afternoon in our subject. Tomorrow, be with us also for our Wednesday morning habit. Good afternoon, everyone, and goodbye.